Hello and welcome to York News, a brief look at what's new and what's happening in York County. I'm Gail Whitaker. Coming up on this edition of York News.
You put a Monster and a Four Loko next to each other, right? It's very difficult to tell. And
the Dare Fest celebrates its 20th festival.
Call the meeting to order.
Up first, the Board of Supervisors held its meeting on Tuesday, March 6th. At this meeting, the board continued discussion on the proposed fiscal year 2013 budget. The board approved all items on the consent calendar, including minutes of previous meetings, refund of taxes erroneously assessed to a York County taxpayer, authorization for the county administrator to accept funding and continue to implement the Housing Choice Voucher Program, and authorization for the county administrator to continue to implement the Emergency Home Repair Program and to accept and appropriate any grant funds awarded to the county by the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development. The next regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors is scheduled for Tuesday, March 20th at 6 p.m. in York Hall. There are 5 public hearing items on the agenda. These are the issuance of general obligation bonds of the county in an estimated maximum principal amount of $8 million to finance public school capital projects, a request for a special use permit to authorize the redevelopment of an existing hotel, the George Washington Inn, for the establishment of a senior housing assisted living facility, a request for a special use permit to authorize a miniature golf course at 2950 Hampton Highway, a resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute an agreement with Allen Alexander doing business as York River Charters to lease docking space at the York County Piers for the purpose of conducting sightseeing, educational, and fishing charters and excursions, and a resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute an agreement with Yorktown Sailing Charters to lease docking space at the York County Piers for the purpose of conducting public and private sailing, sightseeing, and educational tours, charters, and excursions. For more information about the Board of Supervisors meetings, call the County Administrator's Office at 890-3320. The board's complete agenda, including all supporting materials, is also available on the county's website at www.yorkcounty.gov. Board of Supervisors meetings are retelecast on WYCG TV on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 a.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m. Programs scheduled for 6 p.m. on the board's meeting dates will be preempted by the live meeting.
That office is more of an orchestrator than it is a substantive provider.
Meetings are also available both live and on demand on the web. WYCG TV programming on the web may be reached by logging on to the county's website and then selecting WYCG on the home page. The Board of Supervisors is holding 2 public hearings on Thursday, March 22nd. The first is to receive public comment on the proposed fiscal year 2013 budget. This public hearing will be immediately followed by a second public hearing to gather citizen input on the proposed tax rates. The public hearings begin at 7 p.m. and are held in the boardroom of York Hall. This is the public's chance to comment on the proposed budget and tax rates. The Board of Supervisors will hold another work session to discuss the fiscal year 2013 budget on Tuesday, March 27th at 6 p.m. in the East Room of York Hall. There is no opportunity for public comment at a work session. However, the meeting will be televised live on WYCG TV.
they may get a temporary high, but the damage that they're doing to their brain, it's irreversible.
The 20th Dare Festival was held March 3rd. This drug-free event is an opportunity for families to get together and learn more about the operations of the Sheriff's Office, fire and life safety, and many other safe family programs.
The parents allow their children to drink energy drinks. It's very easy for their kids or their friends to end up with one of the alcohol ones, and the parents would never know.
It started out really small and it's built up to what you see it is today. It's a 2-day event now. It's just a place where people can come out and really understand what their community resources are.
What happens there if that gets overloaded? You can have, right?
Everything from the SEAC, which is our Special Ed Advisory Committee within our school division, our community, they're here. The YMCA. We have businesses that support positive programming for our children. We have health services here. We have the York Pocosin Sheriff's Office and everything they offer, from bike patrol to ERT to the motorcycle crime prevention. It's educational. It's something that children can actually take back and share with their friends in school, and the parents can learn to who they can resource if they need to, if that need ever arises.
Whenever it's burning wrong, it's going to be yellow. It's producing carbon monoxide. Natural gas fire should have clean burning blue fire.
On Sunday, March 11th, we sprang forward 1 hour as daylight saving time began for the year. The Department of Fire and Life Safety hopes you took a few moments to follow their advice to change your clocks and change your batteries in your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms. If you do not own a carbon monoxide alarm but use natural gas, oil, or propane in your home, have a fireplace, or an attached garage, please consider purchasing an alarm. Carbon monoxide is the silent killer in that it has no odor and no color. A carbon monoxide alarm and a smoke detector can save your life. For more information, call the Department of Fire and Life Safety at 890-3600. Are you interested in history, specifically Civil War history? Dr. Tom Crouch, Senior Curator of Aeronautics with the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum, will be in the area on 2 consecutive nights to present a talk on Mr. Lincoln's Air Force, a presentation on Civil War balloon observation.
He's agreed to come down to help us commemorate the 150th anniversary of the Civil War here in York County. We're actually going to have 2 performances by him for the Upper County at the Williamsburg Library Theater on March 19th at 7:30 p.m. and then here in Yorktown at the Yorktown Victory Center on the 20th of March, Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock.
This event is sponsored by the York County Historical Committee in association with the York County Sesquicentennial of the American Civil War Committee. For more information, call 890-3508.
There just are not those lateral buds beyond where you see the green.
The York County Office of Cooperative Extension offers many programs on horticulture and agriculture. The office recently offered tips on how to properly prune some trees and plants that may be found in your yard.
This is like the most perfect example. You have a shrub. You want to get the most light and air into the shrub, and the whole reason is it makes it healthier. You have buds at the end, and it's anything at the end is a terminal bud or an apical bud. Then you have lateral buds on the side, and you can see all these little lateral buds here on the side. The one that's in charge is the terminal bud. The main thing you need to remember is that that terminal bud is in charge of all the little lateral buds below it. In general, it is saying grow from the end and inhibit the growth down here. Then we go out and we prune, and what do? We lop off the thing in charge. So now you've just changed all kinds of biology within the plant. You go back about how far down you want, you find a bud. You are going to cut just above that bud, about 1/4 of an inch above the bud, which is not very, it's not very much, at a 45-degree angle so that the cut is draining away from the bud. I've taken off the bud that's in charge, and this is going to be the next bud to break bud and grow. It's going to grow in that direction, and it will become the terminal bud, and everything below it's going to be controlled by this one.
What you can do is when you have a bigger branch is you can do what we call a 1-2-3 cut. So I'm going to just go about halfway, so my saw is binding.
Don't move anymore.
And I'm going to go up about 2 to 3 inches. Trying not to hit the other plant.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard not to injure what's left. There it goes. Oops, there it goes.
And see, it just broke off just like I promised. So.
Right. Follow it back to where it joins the main trunk. There is something right here where I'm holding right there that's called the branch collar. You want to leave it there. You don't want to make a flush cut on that tree. You take it back right to here, to the next one, the next main branch. You're going to cut it right there. You've taken, leave the collar, you've taken these terminal buds. There's no more lateral buds to be promoted. How do we really know that it's dead? Maybe it's going to come back. Maybe it is. Just for a sample here, we could take this. It kind of looks like it's dead, but now you can take your fingernail and sort of Oh, that seems pretty brown. You can say break it.
No green in there.
Yeah, that's...
Not a green stick break too much.
No, a little bit of green to it, but not too much. I'll tell you, they are very resilient. It is unbelievable how resilient they can be.
For information on upcoming pruning clinics, call 890-4940 or email ex199@vt.edu.
If you use an organic pesticide in your yard, it's not going to have synthetic chemicals. So it's
The folks at Cooperative Extension have been quite busy recently. March 11th was the annual horticultural extravaganza. This plant and landscape extravaganza features a variety of classes taught by the leading horticulturalists and landscapers in the area. The horticultural extravaganza is typically held each March. Registrations are now being accepted for the popular Junior 4-H camp being held July 23rd through the 27th.
And we'll be offering the usual classes like kayaking and high ropes and all that kind of thing that the kids enjoy, plus other classes that are science-based and stuff that maybe aren't as traditional camp classes, but are still a lot of fun for the kids.
For registration materials, visit www.yorkcounty.gov/VCE or call 890-4940.
Let's get the nose of it in the water.
York County Parks and Recreation and Appomattox River Company have the cure for your cabin fever. Join them at New Quarter Park on Saturday, March 24th for the annual Cabin Fever Saturday celebration. Outdoor recreation and nature organizations will set up booths and host demonstrations at the park from noon to 3. Cruise the booths and consider joining one or two to get fit and find like-minded friends. If your club, organization, or outdoor-related store wishes to exhibit from noon to 3, call Molly Nealer with Parks and Recreation at 890-3513 or Vic Sorensen with Appomattox River Company at 890-0500 to reserve space. Also at the park that day, disc golfers of all levels are invited to participate in a free 9-hole disc golf tournament from 9 a.m. to noon. Players will be given instructions and tips to those who have never played before and amateurs. For more information, call Parks and Recreation at 890-3500.
It takes about 20 minutes to do a loop, so...
Traveling around the historic area is easier with the Yorktown Trolley once again on the road as of March 17th. This is the 12th year that the trolley has been in operation. The free trolley is available to transport passengers from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., with extended hours of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day.
10 British ships that are still underwater here in the York River from the Revolutionary War.
The trolley route begins at the Yorktown Battlefield Visitor Center and makes several stops along the way to the Yorktown Victory Center. The trolley is handicapped accessible and is air-conditioned. For trolley information, visit www.visityorktown.org.
Do you need information or maps or anything?
The gallery at York Hall opens for its 11th season on Sunday, April 1st. The gallery is operated by the Celebrate Yorktown Committee and managed by volunteer Sharon Owen. The gallery is located in York Hall and features a variety of themed exhibits that change every 6 to 8 weeks. Gallery hours as of April 1 are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays from 1 to 4 p.m. Admission is free. For more information, call the gallery at 890-4490 or visit www.visityorktown.org. Also reopening April 1st for the season is the beach picnic area located at the end of Water Street near Comte de Grasse Street. This grassy picnic area has parking spaces, restrooms, picnic tables, and a beautiful view. For more information about the picnic area, call Parks and Recreation at 890-3500.
9, 6, 7, 8.
And finally, the Senior Center of York has a variety of educational and exciting programs available for our seniors aged 55 and better and their spouses regardless of age. Activities for the remainder of March include a presentation on the Transportation Museum at Fort Eustis, Karaoke Friday Birthday Bash, a trip with the Historic Triangle Center for a wine tasting and lunch, Health Day presenting Maintain Your Brain, and much more. To register for these programs and for more information about what's offered at the center, Call 898-3807 or stop by and learn more. The center is located in the Washington Square Shopping Center at 5314 George Washington Memorial Highway. The Senior Center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's all for this edition of York News. Please join us on March 28th for the next edition of York News. Until then, thanks for watching.